How many of you had a new car and you were getting some reasonable miles, never what they tell you. Forget that. I mean, I don't know who's driving that car when they put that on there, but you know, you see it's supposed to get 22, you take it home and it gets 19.5. You're pretty happy. Until about a year and a half later and you check it, you're getting 16.5. Has that happened to anybody? Okay, what's happening in the vehicle? At optimum, you are having to use the least quality fuel and you're getting optimum mileage. But again, the whole combustion engine, whether, you know, loved carburetors, that's when I could actually do my own work on cars. I would get out there and invest, you know, carburetors are gone, but I still love to talk about them. This will work with the carburetor if you have one out there in your garage. But fuel injectors, more precise. And the same thing, I used to love seeing a carburetor and you know, cleaning the carburetor, rebuilding it, and seeing the gook and all the stuff I was able to get out of that, and the car ran great again for X period of time. Now, you know, the easiest illustration is a carburetor for you people that are like me, 50 and older. But same thing, but even more important with fuel injectors. Because your tolerance, when you start altering the tolerance in a fuel injector, just by slight amounts, you are going to drop that fuel economy drastically. So why do we have this one product that we call Motor Latte 5000? I'm going to tell you, you're going to see more happen with that engine when you put that first blast of that product into your vehicle. Now, if the more your mileage has dropped since the day you owned your car, the more you got to pay attention, because it may be that for the first tank or two, you better go change that fuel filter. If you see that, yeah, you can tell a difference, but you know it's not responding like it needs to, sometimes you will find that you will have the same way if you ever did rebuild a carburetor, what you see in that solution that you let those carburetors soak in, that same thing is going to happen, but it's going to end up in you know, you're not sitting there with the pail, it's going to end up in your fuel filter. So if you have seen mileage drop, you may want to pay attention to the fact that probably you're going to see a difference. You're going to feel a difference. And again, using metal conditioner and the 5000, you're going to see an increase. But you may see that some things are happening strange where that filter needs to be replaced. If that's the case, and you had seen that drop before, since the car was new, I would put a new filter on, and that would be the one instance where I'd put another bottle of 5000 in. And then you're going to start to see it going back up to where it was as a new car. What we're trying to do with the 5000 is get you back to optimum. Your requirement when you first buy that vehicle is the least octane you ever need. When it starts getting dirty, that same amount of octane is not going to work as well. And it just keeps going negatively. Okay? Which means you get less performance out of that fuel, which means your mileage drops. So the first thing we want to do is get the fuel system optimized. So we've worked on engine, getting more efficiency, not having it take 30% before we get energy to the wheels. We've worked on getting the optimum to the fuel system. The next thing we want to do is improve fuels. One thing I will tell you with these products, we will lower emissions. I don't know if you've seen the Brigham Young studies. Every study we've ever done using our product, we lower the bad emissions. So, you know, there's nothing in here that's going to hurt the environment. We do nothing but help. But we do want to be able to manipulate that fuel to where you're paying this price for the fuel, not having to go up to that higher price fuel, but it's giving you the benefit of the higher price fuel. And that can be done. What we did for years when consumers became very much not interested, as a business, we went to places like FedEx, people that had huge fleets, and would put an additive package with them that would allow them to buy a grade lower, put an additive with it, be much cheaper, come out with a better fuel than having to buy the higher fuel. We did that for years. Fleets always paid attention. when do you put more wear on any engine? And you know, I love to think about the difference between very cold temperatures, very warm temperatures, but they're a very similar effect. If you're in very cold temperatures and you're going to drive from without stopping, you're going to go from Anchorage to California, where do you think you're going to put the most on that engine? The first 4 seconds you turn on that car is going to put more wear on that engine than the entire trip. Why? In fact, if you're in Anchorage, it may be 12 seconds. Because that oil, when it gets real cold, it's not going to be moving for a little while. And you got metal to metal. You will put more wear. Even if you live down where I do in Fort Myers, it takes time to get lubrication in that engine. With our product, and again, we'll show you all kinds of things that you'll love, especially if you're like me and you like to see. You know, I love to see things work. You need to see it in your vehicle, but I will bring things that will absolutely show it. One thing we did is we took an engine, we treated it, we drained the engine, and we ran it for 35 minutes. 35 minutes without any lubrication. I mean, we took the filter off, so it wasn't that 1 quart in the filter. We drained 100% of the oil. Now, if we can run an engine that long, and it wasn't idle, we were moving the throttle. If we can run an engine that long with no oil without burning up that engine, what does it do every time you turn that engine on for the first 4 to 6 seconds? Put it in the transmission, put it in the engine. Economics. I will tell you, absolutely seen it happen time and time and time again. You will take that car 30% longer in its life.